Now, South Africa's law enforcement agencies did not restrict former Steinhoff CEO Markus Jooste from leaving South Africa to stand trial in Germany. That's the confirmation from the Department of Justice. Jooste was due to make his first appearance in court in Oldenburg, Germany, on accounting fraud charges. The fraud charges saw Steinhoff with accounting fraud saw Steinhoff crash in late 2017. Well, journalist Jan Cronje, who has been covering that case in Oldenburg on behalf of News 24, Netwerk 24 and Truth First, joins us now. Jan, thanks very much indeed for making the time to talk to us. Let's just start with Jooste's non-appearance earlier this week. How did Jooste's German lawyer explain this to the court?
Good evening. Yeah, Jooste's German lawyer told the court that his client had wanted to attend the case, but feared being arrested at the border if he tried to leave South Africa. He said that in 2017, Jooste had apparently entered into some kind of arrangement with an organ of the South African state. We're not exactly sure which one. And without the permission of the South African authorities, he could not leave South Africa. That was the explanation that was delivered in court.
It was quite interesting that the lawyer did make mention, and this is coming up from your reports and others, that the lawyer said that they would have done everything to make sure he appeared in court. I mean, it's clear that the German chief prosecutor was not impressed. They've applied for a warrant of arrest for Jooste. But that might not be effective anytime soon, you'll tell me.
Correct. The chief prosecutor in the case, who we understand has been investigating this for some time, asked the judge to issue a warrant of arrest. The judge, however, said that the prosecutor and the defense team first have to meet behind closed doors to try and hash out whether there is a legitimate reason for Jooste to not have arrived in Germany. Usually under German law, if the main accused is not present in a court case, a warrant of arrest is issued, but the judge seemed to say there were possibly special circumstances in this case. Now, this can take a few weeks before a decision is made, so we're only expecting the judge to actually make a decision one way or another quite some time down the line.
Yeah, while that was happening in Oldenburg, Germany, where you are, I mean, you've had locally all the South African authorities, including the Department of Justice, the Hawks, saying, look, guys, we haven't got this man's passport. We had not prevented him from going to face trial in Germany. I mean, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we don't know what organ of state or what authority Jooste is meant to have made this agreement with back in 2017. Me and my colleague Nelly Brandt-Jonker, who's working on this in South Africa, have asked everyone, and no one has said that they've either confiscated Jooste's passport or entered into some kind of agreement to stop him leaving the country. The Department of Justice has said that generally in South Africa, only once someone has been charged and appeared in court will there be any kind of block placed on their passport. So at the moment, we don't know whether the explanation given by his lawyer in court is correct. The German lawyer has not replied to our requests for comment, and Jooste's South African legal team has also declined to comment.
Jan, I'm going to get into his co-accused in a moment, who was present in court earlier in the week. I'll get to that in a moment, but we understand that some of the charges against Jooste have lapsed. So what is he facing in that court as it stands at the moment? Just explain that to us.
That's right. We understand that the type of charges Jooste is facing have a statute of limitations of around about 10 years in Germany, and these statutes are fairly strictly enforced. Given that some of the charges dated from 2010, 2011, 2012, those have fallen away. That was announced by the chief prosecutor on Tuesday. 2 charges, however, still remain. We understand that they date from 2013 and 2014. Now, broadly, these charges have to do with using subsidiaries of some of Steinhoff's European businesses to create false profits by the selling of inactive shell companies, by the selling of shares in shell companies between Jooste and a clique of former Steinhoff executives. Jooste was not in court to react to these charges. All we know is that previously, in one of his few appearances before Parliament, he denied any wrongdoing.
Yeah. Now, Jooste's co-accused 72-year-old British ex-banker, George Alan Evans, I believe, he was present in court. He's made a payment, and the fraud charges against him were provisionally dismissed. That's interesting.
Yes, that's correct. Especially coming from South Africa, it was not something that we had expected. As I doubt that such a plea agreement could have been reached so quickly under our court system. But you're right. Evans is Jooste's co-accused, and he did appear in court. He read a short statement to the bench where he denied any wrongdoing. He said he had very little insight into Steinhoff's affairs and was shocked when he heard of the fraud. It looks like the court deliberated, but then decided it wasn't worth the effort in just continuing the case against him alone. Was not party to that, as that took place behind closed doors. But fairly quickly, just an hour or so after the court case started, there was news that a deal of some kind had been reached. In return for paying 30,000 euros, roughly 600,000 rand, the charges against him will be provisionally withdrawn. He has to make this payment within 3 months. I'm not sure at the moment if there are other stipulations, but he left the court before noon, and that was the end of that.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Well, thanks very much indeed for bringing us up to speed on that. Jan Cronje, a Fin24 journalist there, speaking to us from Oldenburg, Germany. All right.